Hello again, friends! Today we are reading another story by Leo Lionni, and this book is called Fish is Fish. And if you'll already notice, there's something interesting happening in this book. We have this fish, and he's kind of imagining what a bird might look like. But because he's never seen a bird before, you'll notice it looks like a fish with wings. We're going to have to see what else this fish imagines during this book. It's a really cool book. It's one of my favorite Leo Lionni books. So Fish is Fish. At the edge of the woods there was a pond, and there a minnow and a tadpole swam among the weeds. They were inseparable friends, meaning they never wanted to be apart. One morning the tadpole discovered that during the night he had grown 2 front legs. "Look," he said triumphantly. "Look, I am a frog." "Nonsense," said the minnow. "How could you be a frog if only last night you were a little fish just like me?" But I think a lot of us know that tadpoles do turn into frogs. They argued and argued until finally the tadpole said, "Frogs are frogs and fish is fish, and that's it." Look at them. Oops. Oh my goodness, look how big his legs are now. In the weeks that followed, the tadpole grew tiny front legs and his tail got smaller and smaller. Ooh, he kind of looks a little worried. He's like, what's going on? And then one fine day, a real frog now, he climbed out of the water and onto the grassy bank. Oh no, remember they said they were inseparable, meaning they never wanted to be apart? But now he's going out of the water, but the fish is still in the water. Can fish go out of the water? The minnow too had grown and had become a full-fledged fish. He often wondered where his 4-footed friend had gone. But days and weeks went by, and the frog did not return. Look. Then one day, with a happy splash that shook the weeds, the frog jumped into the pond. "Where have you been?" asked the fish excitedly. "I have been around the world, hopping here and there," said the frog, "and I have seen extraordinary things." "Like what?" asked the fish. "Oh, there's those fish with wings, oh my goodness." "Birds," said the frog mysteriously. "Birds." And he told the fish about the birds who had wings and 2 legs and many, many colors. As the frog talked, his friend saw the birds fly through his mind like large feathered fish. "What else?" asked the fish impatiently. So he's never seen a bird. He doesn't really know what it looks like. Oh my goodness. Can anybody guess quick what they think this might be? "Cows," said the frog. "They have 4 legs, horns, eat grass, and carry pink bags of milk." Oh. What do you think for this one? "And people," said the frog. "Men, women, children." And he talked and talked until it was dark in the pond. But the picture in the fish's mind was full of lights and colors and marvelous things, and he couldn't sleep. If he could only jump about like his friend and see that wonderful world. Oh, look what he's imagining. Oh, the little kid is riding the cow. That doesn't usually happen. And so the days went by. The frog had gone, and the fish just lay there, dreaming about birds in flight, grazing cows, and those strange animals all dressed up that his friend called people. One day, he finally decided that come what may, he too must see them. And so with a mighty whack of the tail, he jumped clear out of the water onto the bank. Uh-oh. anybody know what happens to fish if they get out of the water? He landed in the dry, warm grass, and there he lay, gasping for air, unable to breathe or to move. "Help!" he groaned feebly. Poor fish. Luckily, the frog, who had been hunting butterflies nearby, saw him and with all his strength pushed him back into the pond. Oh, thank goodness Frog was there. Still stunned, the fish floated about for an instant. Then he breathed deeply, letting the clean, cool water run through his gills. Now he was weightless again, and with an ever so slight motion of the tail, he could move to and fro, up and down as before. The sun rays reached down within the weeds and gently shifted patches of luminous color. This world was surely the most beautiful of all worlds. He smiled at his friend, the frog, who sat stretching, watching him from a lily leaf. "You were right," he said. "Fish is fish." And that, friends, is the end of our story. So I think Fish probably learned that the best world for him is the world that he lives in. He doesn't have to dream about the other worlds. Just like we don't have to dream necessarily about going other places. We would like to go other places, maybe to different countries, or even someday into outer space or something. But the best place for us is still at our own homes, with our own families and our own friends. So I hope you enjoyed Fish is Fish. I love the illustrations in this book when he's imagining all of those different animals that Frog is telling him about. Take care. Bye, friends.